Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris Star Trek New Horizons. This is, I believe, part 5. One thing I'm going to go mention real quick before I actually really start is that I made some adjustments and added some stuff to my Patreon, so link to that in the description if you want to check it out. Obviously you don't have to, but I'm not going to go into a lot of details as to the changes because really they're not that important, especially for this series, because the changes I made are just not going to affect this series. But yes, so obviously it should be obvious by now that if you come into this series expecting a lot of action, you're probably not going to get it. I do expect the Romulans to eventually declare war on us, especially because we have the Bolian League in our coalition. But outside of that, I honestly don't really expect there to be a lot of action, especially in this current time period, because we are still running around in the Enterprise era. We have yet to enter the original series or Next Generation, obviously, eras, which those are probably going to be the two eras where there's a lot more action, more so because by then we'll probably have the tech to really fight the Romulans and Cardassians, and so we'll probably end up getting into a war with either of those two factions. But as it stands right now, we're not really ready, in my opinion, for a war with either of them. So obviously I'm not going to start a war with them, but again, they will probably want to declare war on us. But let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, I'll just run the game on 2 speeds. So we're researching shields and better spaceports so that we can get the better ships. I don't recall if it goes destroyers, battleships, yeah, I think it's patrol frigate, destroyer, battleship, battle cruiser, then assault cruiser.
Station complete.
In this mod. Oh, who are you trying to get this with? The Ferengi, sure. We'll invite the Ferengi to join.
Complete.
What's the worst that could happen? Now, I could stand to get some more money, because we are actually kind of hurting for money. So I will need to look into... I mean, we'll get quite a bit of money once we can get the Pergium on Concord. But that's going to be a little while. You know what? I'm going to cancel that one and I'm going to turn it into a power plant. Yeah, I'd prefer that you work there, to be completely honest. We've got a decent amount of food income, so I'm gonna drop you off on there because it's not really going to affect too much. And our growth will go back up once we hit the 5,000. Oh, what was that? Brief window of opportunity to retrieve scientific data from an abandoned research station on Arcturus 6. Yeah, go ahead, do it. What's the worst that could happen? You have a 0% chance of failure. Which obviously means, in theory, you could still fail, but it's highly unlikely to occur. Let's see. Is there any particularly great planets or systems up here? Not really. Especially if I'm looking for energy credits, because we are actually kind of hurting for energy credits. That's a nice system for minerals, though. 13 minerals here. But we need energy credits. Do we even have level... Okay, we do have level 2s. Okay. I would love to get level 3s, though, game, if you don't mind. Oh. 8 years ago, 8 years ago, Chief Science Officer Aledra Ortega was stationed at this outpost, barely managing to beam off the research station with the last personnel on the ground. Before a ionic disruption cut off the transporter connection. The disruption field has finally abated for a few days, allowing the crew of the USS Voyager to retrieve a wealth of scientific data left behind in the evacuation. As the away team searches for a computer terminal, they notice signs that someone has been living here. Alejandra Ortega detects life signs on her tricorder and moves to investigate the signal. Suddenly, a voice cries out and she dashes into the room, phaser at the ready, and comes upon a person that looks exactly like her. After a few moments of shock, the person explains that she was trapped on the research station after a failed transport attempt 8 years ago. Which scientist are we talking about here? Because I don't think we have the scientist you're referring to. Yeah. Yeah, game? I think you might be a tad bit confused. Oh, we got to Paul. Yeah, I think the game's a tad confused. Because we don't actually have a science officer named Alejandra Ortega. Okay. I mean, this is a very interesting thing, so let's beam her up to sickbay so we can validate these claims. I'm just going to assume that that's probably just some random person serving on the USS Voyager under Gendarmeries here. The duplicate Alejandro Ortega genes are confirmed to be an exact match. In addition, the brain patterns read almost the same, suggesting they both have nearly identical memories. These facts rule out the possibility of her being a shapeshifter or a clone. The ship's engineer theorizes that when the transporter was interrupted by the disruption field 8 years ago, the pattern beam must have reflected a perfect copy of Alejandro Ortega back to the research station on USS Voyager. The transporter duplicate had to retrofit the research station to survive for 8 years on her own. Due to this, the station databanks are not easily accessible and require extensive repairs. You know, just bound to say so. We're not going to ask for their help. We'll do it ourselves. The away team were unable to gather the data in time due to changes made to the station by the duplicate. The crew had beamed out before the distortion field returned to avoid being stranded until the next transport window. Alejandro Ortega's apparent clone later insisted her expertise could have helped to repair the damage within the time provided. A shame. Ooh. Size 23. Out of curiosity, game, do you have any other planets that we can colonize that maybe have Pergium? Because it's kind of nice to have Pergium. Oh, there's some Pergium there. Denoblians. Low intensity negotiations. Ooh, Pergium there. Okay, we got two planets up here with Pergium, though one of them we can't access until we learn how to clear sinkholes, which we don't currently know how to clear.
Station complete.
Okay, I'm guessing we failed to get to 100%.
Long-range scan of planet complete.
Okay. Trill, do you have... Nope, okay. Kind of figured you didn't, but I was hopeful you did. It'd be a terrible idea to colonize Archanar. Archanar? Yeah, Archanar, I guess. Guess that's how it's pronounced. Okay, some Pergium down there, but that gets us right next to Kitamir, which is obviously going to piss off the Klingons, which obviously just opens up another possible person to declare war on us. And, well, I'd rather avoid that if at all possible. Now, game, I would love it
Research complete.
let's see. The Vulcan sector is suffering from a lack of food. Or the sector that we call the Vulcan sector. This is not going to give us anything, but it's supposed to open specialization tech options, which I can either get specialization for photon torpedoes or try and get more engineering. Oh god, that's a lot of engineering research. We have a lot more of that than we do anything else. I did not realize that. I mean, having even more doesn't hurt. So let's go for even more. Okay, now, what's the deal with the Vulcan sector? Oh. It's because the game is stupid. That's the problem with the Vulcan sector. It's not building anything. Oh, Vulcans, why? 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 I assume I'm needing to subsidize your food then because of that. I could be wrong, but I assume that's the case, is that surplus food is some of the surplus food is needed to go to them so that they don't starve to death because they're idiots. I'd rather you go there. Where are you going? Go and upgrade that. Clear that tile. Clear that tile. Just go ahead and keep up clearing all these tiles. Get rid of them. I can get more worthwhile things there. We're almost got our shields. Oh, that's within our borders now. Wonderful. It's a little bit extra resources.
Spatial rift detected.
Interesting. Not really. But we'll say it's interesting. Nope, nothing there. Ah, you guys. Oh, whoops, whoops. I don't give a crap. Give me your star charts. Actually, I think I already asked for them before, so never mind. Shut up, Ferengi. Honestly, I think their voices are a little bit too loud. Personally. When they talk. You know, I kind of want to let you go and do that, Wan Mao. But, no, not right now. Also, we should be able to get rid of this frontier outpost without it hurting our borders. Yeah, I don't think it hurt our borders much. I mean, yeah, we lost a little bit of stuff here, but besides that, the Khatian Union and the Bajoran Republic have entered into a defensive pact. Obviously, it's because of the Cardassians. Was that a good idea? Probably not. And we want to give the Tamarian Unity Association status. Sure, I don't really mind. Oh, I'm at the Gorn. Okay, never mind. We met the Noskins, not the Gorn yet. We greet you in peace. You guys have quite a bit of tech. Do you mind sharing some of that with me? Got a couple mineral... well, you know, I'd rather give you energy credits, because you're less likely to use them to kill me.
Spatial rift detected.
And they accepted that, which is actually kind of nice.
Station.
No, whoops. I don't really care for the sickbay and whatnot. Let's go for the Interstellar Academic Board. And let's go ahead, so I can get some of these things out of the way. Let's go and get the transporters for the reduced settlement cost. Okay, we got shields now. Let's go ahead and slap the shields on our ships. Shields are generally better, so obviously I'd prefer to have shields. And we don't have the necessary power to use shields. Kind of sucks. And transport ships. I want you to have shields as well. You I cannot give shields to, though. Or I guess I can, because I can equip you with the field generator, but you can't have, like, legit shields. That's actually kind of interesting. I mean, I don't really care too much for the colony ships and science ships. I don't mind them having some protection, but They're, for the most, well, at least the construction ships are fairly expendable. Not as much the science ships, because the science ships have science officers, and science officers are kind of useful because they get levels, but outside of that, I don't really care too much. Vega Prime Cell's the way to go. You want me to give you... Oh, no. You'll give me minerals for star charts. Sure. I mean, you don't have anything that I don't already know about. Or at least you shouldn't. Let's go and get another... Or let's go and upgrade our spaceports. I was going to say let's get another construction ship, but that can wait until after. It's not that big of a deal. Now, I would love it if the Vulcan sector would figure out how to not starve to death, because it's kind of helpful. We got a demon world here, because it's really hot. Intense radiation, scorching heat. You want me... What the hell, Vulcans? They're like, hey, we know we just gave you some minerals. Do you mind giving us those back? And a little bit extra in exchange for a research agreement? I'll accept. I don't really want to, but... whatever. I get the research agreement, and they have a lot of society tech that I don't have, so it's helpful. It's just not as helpful as it could be. The Alassian Enlightened Kingdom, okay, these little guys here, have entered into a non-aggression pact with the Gorn hegemony.
Give the baton.
Now, I'm surprised you haven't decided to go and try and vassalize the Gorn and the Nausicaans. Well, either vassalize or conquer, whichever one you prefer. So that is a little bit surprising to me, but hey, if the Klingons don't want to go to war with everybody, be my guest. Oh, and we met the Solobon.
Research complete.
Wherever they are. There they are. We greet you as equals. The Husnak Ascendancy. You guys are somewhere, obviously. But... oh, you're right next to him. Slaving despots, because of course you are. You're in that region of space where everybody is a slaving despot, pretty much. I would greet you in peace. And the Morales states, you're a xenophobic isolationist, though, so you're a little bit more unique. And holy crap, you guys are actually fairly large. I've never seen you grow. I didn't even know there was an actual nation there. I've always seen the Morales states end up owning this area of space by the time I met them. So I didn't realize there's actually a empire over there.
Give the baton.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought that was a Klingon there. Oh, yes. Let's go ahead and thank you, game. I will take power plant 3s if you don't mind. I don't know what upgrades you have, but I'll let you do them. Oh. It's reactors.
Station complete.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Station complete. Station complete.
You guys are so slow, you know that? We need some better engines, we really do.
Ships upgraded.
Wonderful. Up, and actually that managed to... getting rid of this frontier outpost pushed our borders back far enough over here to get that back outside of our borders. Okay, game. Whatever you say. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense, but according to the game, it makes tons of sense. I mean, I wouldn't expect a frontier outpost way the hell over here to really affect borders over here. But apparently it does. Now, if you don't mind, okay, it's 1500. I could wait 5 months and build a deep space station. I kind of want to do it just for the hell of it, so you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. We'll build it around Saturn because it sounds like fun. The Tamarian Unity and the Bajoran Republic have entered into a defensive pact. Again, probably more so for fear of the Cardassians. They're really the only ones in the area that are a threat. Okay, let's go ahead and welcome the Denoblian Unity to the Federation, or into the United Federation of Planets. Ah, oh, damn it. Looks like they did change it. Yeah, I don't really care for the fleet game. I just hope you realize that.
Long-range scan of planet complete.
And in fact, it kind of seems as though me taking over them just kind of threw the... Why are you putting fusion reactors, game? What the hell are you doing? They don't need fusion... They shouldn't need fusion reactors. Why are you putting combat sensors on them? Holy crap, that's a terrible idea. Game, I think you are very confused as to what you're trying to do here. Okay, that can't be fitted there. That can't be either. Okay. You, combat sensors. What is sucking up so much power? Oh. It's probably because you have tier 3 computers and I don't have tier 3 computers. I'm running around with tier 2 computers. Yes, that's probably why you're putting fusion reactors on everything. Okay, well that's nice to know. Now hopefully this is not bugged out. Oh. Aha! It did! Wonderful. The borders became oh so tiny that they don't exert any real control. Wonderful. Okay, you guys go set up shop around Vega Prime, I guess. Because it's close by, and hopefully you don't bug out. That happens sometimes. Now, who's the one running around with tier 3 computers, if you don't mind me asking, game? I really am curious. Aha! It's the Benzites. They're the ones with the tier 3 computers.
Station complete.
Hopefully we get tier 3 computers. I'd love me some tier 3 computers. We should get them eventually. Although you would think that having a being in a coalition, having a research agreement with somebody that has it would increase your chance of getting it. Oh, I don't have a research agreement with you. What the hell? Let's go ahead and correct that. Why are you guys so upset? I'd rather not give you those. I'd rather give you these. But you don't want those, so I guess I'll give you minerals. Which, of course, kind of delays my original hopes to build a deep space station around Saturn. I mean, I can still do it. They're just going to be delayed, that's all. Now, you would think that Vega would extend out to here because there's no pushback from the Denoblians, but apparently that doesn't matter to them. Now, if you guys don't mind, give me your star charts.
Long-range scan of planet.
Just to make sure that I have all the up-to-date stuff from you. Because I don't get it when you get integrated, sadly.
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
Oh, pirate fleet over there, and the Borg have declared war on the Zal technocracy. Is it going to be a 1v1? No, you will need to fight the Kazan and the Talaxian Republic. So, the Zal, Kazan Sex, which is kind of all over the place, and Shore and Doria sector, and I don't know where the Talaxian Republic is. Because I see the Kazan sect, I see the Zal technocracy. Apparently we know that the Talaxians exist, but we don't know where they are. Okay, game. I'll take your word for it, I guess. You just wait there. You've got another month until you can build a deep space station. Just for the hell of it, really. I presume they already have a model for it, considering it's supposed to be the habitat, so I don't know exactly what that model is. Let's find out. Can only be constructed in systems with no existing colonies. Well then, Bernard Star. I don't really think you want it around a star. It sounds like a terrible idea. Wolf. Sure, we'll build it around Wolf. We're in Wolf 424. Let's see. Do you want to build it around a geoactive or a geo-inactive planet? Sure, that sounds like a fun idea. Has an anomaly, so I can't. Never mind then. We'll build it around this gas giant up here, I guess. Again, we're doing this just simply because we can. There's literally no other reason for me to do it. You guys go and upgrade. I don't know what upgrades you have. Oh, heavy photon torpedoes, because somebody... No? I don't know what the deal was there, actually. Did we get anything new? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys to upgrade as well.
Ships upgraded.
Wonderful. Still not enough to go and deal with pirates, though. But we are getting there. If I build a couple more ships, either a NX or an Intrepid, like we covered last time. The NX is the damage dealer, while the Intrepid seems to be better at taking shots, but that's about the extent of it. I kind of want to go for pop growth time reduced by 10%, which will hopefully help Vega Prime grow a little bit faster. Same with Concord. In fact, Concord already has the 5 people it needs.
Rule of acquisition number
Sure,
34.
Ferengis.
War is good for business.
If you want to come here, I won't stop you. Let's go ahead and upgrade Concord. This way we can get the Pergium thing here. I can build a basic thing there. Sure, go and upgrade that Axanar. The Morali and the Gorn Hegemony have entered into a defensive pact. That's probably partly because of the Husnak Ascendancy, but maybe also partly the Klingon Empire. Especially since the Morali states decided to go and colonize the Dewa system, which is now going to get them into border disputes, or whatever the modifier is called, with the Klingons because of Lambda Hydra. Border friction, that's what it's called. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name.
Spatial rift detected.
Let's go ahead and upgrade those. I know we're sitting on our cap for energy credits, but there's not much I can really do about that, because there's not a whole lot that costs energy credits outside of maintenance. And I just realized the game was paused again. So let's go ahead and save up some minerals, see if we can either get another Intrepid or an NX. What do you guys have? You have one Intrepid and one NX. Well, I mean, we'll get the Intrepid first because it's cheaper. In terms of, or the ability to build it at least. Tholians declared the Bajoran Republic their rival. Let's see. Morali states declared the Nausicaan tribes their rival. Although I don't think it'd be much longer of a wait to get the NX class, and the NX is a better damage dealer, so I think I'll go for an NX class. rather than an Intrepid. We'll build an Intrepid again after, though, I think. How's your construction going along? Quite nicely, and yes, I kind of figured to use the same model as the space docks, but is it literally the exact same model? Yes, it appears it is. I was kind of hopeful that if they did use the exact same model, they would have changed up the numbers a little. Ooh, what's this? A defensive platform right next to it?
Incoming transmission.
Who's it now? What do you guys want? You want association status. The Trill Union. I mean, you'll probably get us into war with the Cardassians, especially if you join our coalition, but, you know what, I'll let the other guys decide. And, of course, they decided to let you in. You met the Tagaran Empire, who are up here. We greet you in peace. Or at least our citizens do. Our military, probably not so much, but we don't have a massive military, so you probably don't even really notice the difference. Oh, now you have your borders back. So weird. Sometimes the game's not sure if it wants to have the borders or not, it seems. It's interesting that they decided to change it in this mod to be just a flat 25 rather than the 25% or whatever it was normally in the base game. Not that I have an issue with that change, personally. Because in the base game, you'd normally end up with ridiculous naval capacities in the late game because of all the stacking modifiers. I'd rather learn how to clear volcanoes, personally. We have a volcano here, and we got 2 volcanoes here. So, yeah, learning how to clear volcanoes is certainly not a bad thing. Ferengi and Bajorans the Bajorans declared the Ferengi their rival. So we're probably not getting the Bajoran within our coalition now because they hate the Ferengi. Do I have a research agreement with you? I do, okay. Let's get the game up to 3 speed. I kind of want to see this finish, this part. So I'll probably end the part shortly after that is finished. Oh, let's see. React to a galactic conflict. Let's go ahead and investigate the Borg Collective and Zal Technocracy War. And let's go ahead and condemn the Borg. They won't declare war on us. They're so far away. Of course, I still half would expect them to declare war on us, but it's not going to happen. The game just won't let it. Let's get an NX class built out of Earth. Wonderful. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Learn how to build cruisers. I was remembering wrong. It's cruisers, then battleships, then battle cruisers, then assault cruisers.
Incoming transmission.
I don't see you. Apparently you have a cloaking device on your person. But you want me to give you some of my Trillium D in exchange for some minerals, which certainly isn't bad because it does aid me in. So that's what you look like. I don't know why I don't see you over here on this window. Sure.
Station.
Gets me closer to also queuing up an Intrepid, which is certainly not bad. Okay, game, are you literally not going to build that one? It looks like you aren't. I'll build it for you then. Don't know why you're refusing to build it. What now? Oh, more of these. Okay, well those combat drones aren't that big of a deal. Our fleet could deal with them. We just can't deal with pirates, being our main issue.
Incoming.
Rule of acquisition number 34. War is good for business.
I kind of want to say no because I don't like giving active sensor link. But I have association status with you, so I don't think you can declare war on us anyway. So fine. And you're giving it to us both ways. Your military's crap, isn't it? Your tech level is superior to mine, apparently.
Station.
build an Intrepid.
Incoming transmission.
What do you guys want? Tellerus Sector, you want... Okay, research agreement. Sure, why not? No reason to say no. I would have preferred if you gave me something, but I'll live without you giving me something. Something about the Cardassians and somebody getting non-aggression pact.
Station complete.
Okay, and we've almost got the new power plants.
Incoming transmission.
What is it? Oh, migration treaty? Sure. Do we actually have anybody migrating to our empire? I don't think so. No, we haven't gotten anybody to migrate into our empire yet. I'm not too surprised by that.
Station complete.
We almost got another Intrepid done. We'll have 2 and 2 now. I'm going to say Alrigi is kind of the main reason we have a whole lot of engineering research.
Station complete.
You. No. Pergium power plant. Yes, please. New power plants. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and research better arrays. So we can see further. Again, we are sitting at our cap though already for energy credits, so new reactors aren't actually that helpful. Or at least they're not as helpful as they could be. Too many colonized world. We have Deep Space One. Deep Space One is tiny. Does upgrading this get me anything? Oh. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Oh, okay, I see how it is. So, what you see actually building is the spaceport. Okay, that's how this mod does it. So, it's as if you're building a spaceport, but it actually has habitats on it. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I want to see what happens upgrading this. I don't care if we're over a cap right now, game. It's not too much. It's not really hurting us too much. Yeah, it only hurts energy generation. We're already over our cap for energy generation, so what the hell do I care? I want to see what happens after upgrading this if we get more space. I assume we do. Because I'm pretty sure I was seeing things that can only be built here on a habitat or deep space station. So I am curious to see if upgrading this actually extends our ability to build things. So, election is underway. Let's see. I kind of want to have you again, Kochi Sato. Or really just anybody with the industrious trait. You're busy governing the Andorian sector. I don't really care for the ship upkeep, although it is certainly helpful. And see, you provide a straight happiness bonus, so I kind of like to have you, Kochi Sato. It'll help us. Now, I don't think that necessarily, to my understanding, this does not mean he's necessarily going to win. It's a 17% of the vote share. It's still technically possible. Oh, I think somebody dropped out. Okay, let's see. God, this is going to take forever, isn't it? Yeah, I think it said it was going to take a year to build. Okay, we now know how to build cruisers. Let's go ahead and learn how to get... Let's get better hulls. So this is our cruiser, the Poseidon. I don't think I've ever actually managed to get to the Enterprise era cruiser. And, of course, it's basically an NX class, but bigger. And with the deflector dish, or well, I guess an additional deflector dish on the bottom. Let's go for the advanced engineering cruiser. What is with all the reactors, game? Holy crap, what are you putting on the ship that's using up so much? Oh, it's probably... Yes, that heavy pulse phase cannon. Holy crap, that uses up a lot of power. I don't mind the crew quarters. I actually kind of like having crew quarters. God, that's expensive. Yeah, we'll go with this Poseidon, this design. It's fine. Do you guys have better? You do. I could give you tactical. See, if I give you guys anything other than a tactical destroyer module, you lose your tactical module. Or your tactical slot. Which is kind of annoying, actually. But yes, so if I save up the necessary minerals, we could technically pump out a Poseidon cruiser, which I kind of want to do. But it probably won't happen this part, because that's a lot of extra minerals. Unless somebody's willing to trade. Probably not going to be the case. I already have a research agreement with you. You guys, you probably have out-of-date maps by now. You hate me enough, though, or enough to the point where you say, screw that. Okay, you guys wouldn't give me much, if any, really. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to declare you a rival. No, Ferengi.
Rule of acquisition.
Could I buy minerals off of you? No. No, I cannot. You are probably, I guess, capped out as well. That sucks. Yep, okay. It looks like I would just have to wait it out, and, well, like I said, that's quite a while. It's about 15 months or so. Cardassian Union declared war on the Tholian Assembly. Okay.
Station complete.
I'm still gonna wait it out for that. Let's go ahead and react to galactic conflict. Okay, we have the Tholians and the Cardassians at war. We still have the Borg. Cardassians, how powerful are you? Equivalent, superior. What about the Tholians? Equivalent. Ooh. Looks like the Tholians could possibly lose that war. Especially if they don't have any allies, which is probably the case. Yes, it's a 1v1. Okay. Let's just go ahead and yell at the Borg again. And production targets. Production targets. If I actually upgrade all of these, we could afford quite easily to build the veteran array here. In fact, we can already afford it. Well, here's hoping that the event decides to work. Otherwise, this is a waste of money, influence, and time. Because, to my understanding, the event that actually terraforms Mars likes to bug out sometimes. And of course, that's not helpful when it bugs out.
Station complete.
Oh, you got 5. Wonderful. Learn how to clear that. Let's go ahead. Yes, learn how... Oh, well, wait, actually. Those are also helpful. But no, let's learn how to clear deep sinkholes, because we have one of those on Mars. Yes, 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 game, I know. The Dosi Confederacy, where are you guys? You're up there, we greet you in peace. The Wadi Emirates, we greet you in peace. You're also up there, with one of your systems completely surrounded. And no. Okay. So... can I just replace... I mean, it says I can replace this. Okay, so... I was kind of hopeful that these would have multiple slots. Especially... I guess there's probably no way to actually have it where you upgrade the operations center and you get more slots. Okay, well... I can go with this, get more minerals, which is certainly not bad. I can go with a promenade, that'll produce some root beer, along with giving me some more energy credits. Although I shouldn't be hurting for energy credits once all my upgrades are done. I can get more science, which is certainly not bad. Or I can get a shipyard, which increases ship build speed at the spaceport orbiting, well, technically the spaceport integrated into this habitat or deep space station. Which is actually not bad, but yeah. I was kind of hopeful these would have multiple slots. More than one. It doesn't necessarily need to be in like a 25 by or a 5 by 5 or anything ridiculous like that, but you know, maybe 4, 5 slots or so, depending on exactly how that would work out. I don't know, I wouldn't complain about a 2 by 2 personally. I mean, if this isn't helpful. Growth speed. You have 1 slot. Border extrusion. So, extension. Not exactly the most helpful. Consulate. Not helpful. Again, planet modifier. If you've only got a single slot, none of these are useful. I assume there has to be something we can get later that gives us more slots. There has to be. Because otherwise, it makes no sense to really build these, because they wouldn't have much of a purpose. Outside of just building it because you can, which is basically why we built this, and to see how it functioned. But sadly, as it stands right now at least, it seems you get some special buildings, but you've only got a single slot, so you're kind of out of luck. Maybe it's because we built it in the Enterprise era. Maybe if we build it in the original series era, we get more slots, and then if you build it in the Next Generation era, you get even more slots, but I find that unlikely to be the case. But hey, it could be for all I know. It is interesting though that it seemed it took a while for the game to actually take into account the inefficient POP, or planet management modifier. Devor and Vodwar have entered into a defensive pact. I think I'm going to make this a little bit longer episode. Come on. I want to just queue up the mining stations up there in Vega, if you don't mind, game. Don't care for these random people.
Detected.
Oh, let's just go ahead and learn.
Long-range scan of planet.
Find out who the Tau aliens are. That should be these guys, I would assume.
Station complete.
Holy crap. What just happened to our income? It seemed to drop a lot more all of a sudden. Oh, because we finished building that. Breen. Oh, it's not the Breen. Okay, I guess I need to send somebody into the 83 Leona system to actually meet those guys. Otherwise, the game's basically just going to tell me, hey, yeah, there's people there, you just haven't met them yet.
Planet complete.
I wish I could destroy this now, actually. But I don't think he can. Screw it, I'm replacing you with a promenade. Oh, and it's instant. From the operations center. That's interesting.
Station complete.
Or maybe if there's a way, tie the amount of tiles you get into the level of the spaceport, even. That would be an interesting concept. But it probably wouldn't be possible. Or, well, it's probably possible, but it's probably not easy.
Spatial rift detected.
Oh, we got the Stellar Entente up here now. Oh, we got two different coalitions up there.
Incoming transmission.
Thanks for the minerals. They're always appreciated.
Long-range scan of planet complete.
Station complete.
Research complete.
New sensors, helpful. Let's go ahead and research phase discriminator. Now I need to clear some tiles here for these guys to work. Interstellar Academy. But why? Why would you care for the Interstellar Academy out of curiosity game unless it has some upgrades? I guess it could. But this is basically the normal game's version of the basic science lab. So, yeah. No thanks. I'll take the power draw. Or excuse me, power plant. Oh, do we actually have a root beer now, game? Is it actually affecting the happiness of our pops? Yes, it is. We now actually have a whole root beer, apparently. Aha! It's because you produce 0.2. Oh, no, you all produce 0.2. They must have changed that. They must have raised it, because it used to be 0.1. And you would need 10 of them to get a whole root beer to get the bonus. But now, they produce 0.2 each, meaning you should only need 5. So I got 1 on Earth. I have 1 on Axanar for 2. But that's it. Apparently 3 is actually enough. Interesting. Not that I got a problem with that, because that of course means my people are more productive. Nonetheless, so I don't have an issue. Aha! Dreams of a blue planet. I'll end the part after we read this. Even before we could travel to stars, we looked at our nearest planetary neighbor and wondered what life existed there. Hundreds of years later, we will find out Mars once had moving rivers and seas, even a basic ecosystem, only to lose it to an ever-depleting atmosphere. Now is our chance to restore Mars to its former glory. Even as we look to other solar systems and their wealth of colonizable planets, the Mars Initiative seeks to terraform the Red Planet. The head of the project, engineer Paul Bone, says that with the help of the Veteran Array, it will be possible to nudge comets and asteroids out of their orbit and force them to crash onto the polar ice cap of Mars. This will release carbon dioxide and water vapor into the atmosphere and eventually bring life back to the barren planet. The project lead estimates the project could take at least 8 years and potentially a great deal more. Remember, the Veteran Array must be manned by a POP at all times or your terraforming project will not advance. Okay, let's see. So it is 2183. I'll write this down. It says 8 years. It is 93. Can barely read it because DX Tory is in the way. And it will take 8 years. So once we get into the 2200s, we should, in theory, relatively early in the 2200s, in fact. I mean, what we're looking at, let's see. So 2201 should be round about there. Should be when we get a terraformed Mars. Initiate the project, Engineer Boone. Now, I don't know if this terraforming project strategic resource will actually increase by 1 every year. Or, not every year, but whatever it is. I assume that's not going to actually be the case. But yes, so we need to always have this manned. If it becomes unmanned, then, well, we lose out. Because then it stops until we man it again. Although the person on this tile I don't think has been very keen to move. It's the person on the engineering research tile that likes to move around a lot. Which is kind of annoying, honestly. But I can't really do anything to stop him. At the end of the day. There's really nothing I can do about it. Outside of just be annoyed that they always move around. Let the game run for just a little bit longer. There we go, got the new halls. Let's go ahead and learn how to build Spaceport Level 4. Because minefields are worthless in my opinion. Because they're too damn expensive. I've mentioned it and pretty much every part that we've gotten nuclear explosions as a research, I've mentioned they're too damn expensive in my opinion for them to be particularly useful. Now I understand, again, this is because earlier, in a much earlier version of the mod, they were very cheap and very powerful. Now they're very expensive, probably still roughly as powerful, maybe a little bit less so, but much more expensive now, which obviously sort of hampers their usefulness. But yes, let's go for the better spaceport. So we researched a better hull. Let's go ahead and slap this better hull on our ships. And the next part, we will probably be going after some pirates. Because, why wouldn't we? Oh, we have better sensors as well. Let's also slap the better sensors on. I don't care how you guys do it, just slap better sensors on. No! Drop that damn thing, game. Drop that as well. Stupid game trying to put crap on the ships that don't need it. I don't think you can have that. No, you don't have the power necessary. You definitely don't have the power necessary then. Yeah, you shouldn't be any different. Let's go ahead and upgrade you. No, I don't care to. Set a Federation-wide research. Let's focus on engineering.
Ships upgraded.
Wonderful. Yep, so next part we will probably be going after these Orient Syndicate pirates, as well as these pirate home bases within the Benzite Commonwealth. Because the First Fleet is actually capable of fighting now at 1.6k military power. It's still not great, and I would love to slap in a Poseidon-class cruiser, which I might try and squeeze in before we actually go pirate hunting, or pirate squashing, whichever way you prefer to refer to it. But yes, so I will see you guys in the next part. But until then, a goodbye and farewell.